Oh yeah, that kind of link.
We're back. Well, I guess we're here. We're not really back. Welcome to another episode of The Curse of Strahd, which is being shown on the Show Us Your Crits channel. My name is JC, and tonight we have Mike Pankineer, who's going to be taking us through Chapter 16 of Curse of Strahd. I think we've actually been at this now for close to 6 months, I think, or if not longer. So that's kind of a stretch. But we're all chugging along, still alive, and I think about to go into combat. But before I go ahead and do that, let me go ahead and hand it over to Mike, who will kick us off.
All right, thanks, James. Chapter 16 with The Curse of Strahd. I'll go ahead and give the intro I gave before. This is based off the original that Tracy Hickman and his wife had created back in the early 80s, and of course was republished in 2016 by Wizards of the Coast. Where we left off last is the group of heroes are currently exploring the ruins of Argent Vostholt, which has the Order of the Silver Dragon, an ancient order of paladins that apparently had resided here once long ago. The party had been exploring and had recently run into some powerful undead, and I believe that's where we ended the chapter, is that they had just vanquished some reverence and had turned to face one that still remained. But before we get any further, why don't we go ahead and do some brief introductions. Breepine. Mary, why don't you go ahead and give us an introduction about Breepine?
So Breepine is a forest gnome wizard. She is of the Fenwizzle clan, and she has recently been studying up on her magics, and hopefully soon we'll have some new spells once she gets done studying.
All right, perfect. Okay, Greg, why don't you go ahead and give us a sentence or two about Reginald?
Reginald's a healer. He's trying to keep everybody alive and try to keep those that are dead.
All right, perfect. Matt, why don't you go ahead and tell us about Julius?
Greg, you're doing a fine job. So I am playing Julius, Paladin of Helm, God of Guardians. I am the bullet stopper, if you will. Basically, I take the beatings so nobody else has to. And yeah, I've come close to death a couple times, but Greg has pulled me out of the fire.
Excellent. Yes. Well done, Greg. And last but not least, of course, is James. James, why don't you go ahead and tell us about Tezzacotl?
Well, Tezzacotl is the wacky neighbor next door. The one who gets into, well, no, he doesn't actually get into any trouble. Actually, he just kind of sits around and hunts and does other cat-like things. So nothing super exciting, but I do get my share of licks in combat and so on and so forth. And that's it for me.
Get it?
Yeah, like a cat.
Yeah,
like a cat.
I see what you did there. All right, perfect. Okay, so when we left off last, I have the map up. Oh, actually, before we get started, it looks like we have two people, or one person, David. David has joined us, so hello, David. Thanks for joining. Any other people that join, I'll say hello now, a preemptive hello. But when we left off, you had all encountered a bunch of reverends that were seated in a room, and you had managed to bottleneck them successfully. As they came out of the room, you were able to defeat them, which was very fortunate for you. And right now, it looks like there is still one that remains. However, he lingers in the back of the room, and he has not approached you. So the battle is officially over. I do have the map up. I don't know if you guys... Oh, there you go. Perfect. So I do have the map up. Of course, you guys are all still in the hallway. So go ahead and let me know what your actions are. What you guys do from this point.
Well, Julius, go talk to that thing.
Go talk to it, not attack it.
Well, it's not attacking us. It didn't try to get out the door where we slaughtered everyone in the doorway.
That is true.
Or maybe he's just not as dumb as everybody else.
That is also a possibility. I'm going to poke my head around the door, Mike.
Parlay?
Okay. You see a very withered and decrepit looking man. His face is sunken. He looks very skeletal in appearance. He has, since you saw him last, he has taken a seat at the end of the table and is sitting down with his hands in front of him on the table. He seems to, he sees you as you come around the corner, and he kind of bows his head a little bit and then slowly begins to rise to his feet.
I prepare to be attacked.
He says in a very raspy voice, if you are here to destroy me, then I beg you to please do it quickly and end my suffering.
I step forward and I say, how is it that you suffer?
I am doomed to haunt these halls for eternity, for a task that I could not complete for my liege.
And is your liege, I forget what his name is in the other room.
I want to say his name. I don't want to say Vladimir, but it sounded like Vladimir. Hang on one second.
I think it was.
Yes. Vladimir Horngard. Yes, he is.
So I ask, is he your liege?
He is indeed.
And he seems unwilling to do anything regarding his sworn duty. What of you?
Like many who inhabit these halls, he has lost all hope. He has lost all faith. He believes that even as an eternal undead, that his cause is lost.
And what of you?
I have accepted my fate. That roaming these halls is the curse that has been bestowed upon me. I have nothing else or no one else to turn to.
If it were within your power to defeat Strahd, would you take up arms?
We could, but I fear it would be a lost cause. Strahd has had many, many years to slowly accumulate his power and fortify himself. Nothing short of a small and organized army would be able to penetrate his defenses by now. But
his arrogance is his weakness.
This is true. This is true, and I know that Vladimir, if his items are returned to him, he would rally to the cause. He would lead these men once more, even if he knew that it would be a nearly hopeless task.
And Strahd has his items?
No. In the battle, he had lost his prized helmet. This was a helmet that was given to him by the Silver Dragon, Argent. Strahd, we know for sure that Strahd does not have it. We believe that it lays to the north, within the swamps. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to find out where it is exactly, but we do know that Strahd does not have it. If my liege was able to get his helmet back, he would be able to rally the troops. He'd be able to find hope again. I believe that he would find the strength to fight once more.
And you would follow him.
I would follow him to the ends of the earth. I have made that pledge. And beyond.
Excellent.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Can I bother you to put up the map screen? I just want to see where he's talking about.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. Hang on one second. Let me grab the map. Oh, I can see it just fine. Hang on a second. You guys can't, though. All right, let me know when you guys can see it.
Aha! Wait, no.
I can.
Hold on, I
is-
got you.
That is Valaki.
Or Wallachia.
Okay, so you guys are right now at the ruins, which is right here on the map.
Yeah, we can't see the map. We see the town of Wallachia.
Oh, I think James is currently. Oh, town of Valaki. Hang on, maybe did I click on the wrong map?
Oh yeah, that's just the town of Valaki.
One moment, please.
Stupid town of Valaki.
Yeah.
Stupid town. Let's try that again.
Them and their wolves.
Hey,
Yeah,
does
they
the
pay
crazy
pretty good for
wizard
those
sell
ones.
stuff at discount prices?
Yes. His prices are so low, you think he's insane.
There.
So we are here at the place of unpronounceable wonder,
Yes.
Argent
And-
Vostholt. Yes, that's quite a name.
and then north in the swamps, which I'm assuming
Where are the
is
swamps?
up here.
I'm assuming he means around where the Crazy Wizard's Tower is. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Hang on one second. I can tell you. I'll mark it on the map as soon as I make sure I know exactly where it is.
Go to the edge of the map and then 20
Keep
minutes
walking.
Beyond.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so he is saying. Where is it?
That's what we want to know.
He is saying, well, actually, when you said Crazy Wizard's Tower, you weren't that far off. He is saying this area here. If you guys
Hold
can
on.
see.
Where?
Aha! Yeah, the Crazy Wizard's Tower.
So when
And
you
what
said
is- and
Crazy,
what is this swamp called?
it does not have a name. It is just the lands that surround Lake Baratok. There is very little out there except for rough terrain and dangerous wilderness.
Well, if there's this small town here, Krezek, we could always head to Krezek and then set up camp and then search the swamp if we want to go look for the homeboy's tower or his helmet.
Yes.
The Homeboys Tower.
That's cat language, man.
Mike, how do you spell Baratok?
It's Baratok. Baratok.
Baratok.
Bara. T is in Tom. OK.
Okay.
Okay.
Why can I not? Damn these eyes.
So Julius,
That must have been Greg.
What must have been Greg?
Naming it Shrek Swamp.
Of course.
so we should
Please note that Shrek is a registered trademark of DreamWorks.
yeah. I'll get a notification. Your stream has been shut down for saying the word Shrek.
By Disney.
Yeah, by Disney. By whoever. All right. So I would say that we should probably ask that creepy dude if there's like any other things that we should worry about in this place, and if not, we should, maybe head on. If not, I'm very curious what's in that room right next to him.
Yeah, because I think we have one more story after this on top.
Yeah.
I know we got stairs going up.
Well, go ahead and ask him. I mean,
Oh,
I don't have to
okay.
be the only one to talk to him.
Well, you had such a nice rapport.
Yeah, you're not just the tank; you're also the face.
Yeah. All right. I'll slip in, and I'll say I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation, but I'm curious if there's anything else we should be concerned about in this manor house, or is this it?
He kind of gives you a forlorn stare, and he says, "You will find nothing else on the floor above. Nothing of interest to you. All that remains is rubble and ruin. Oh, and the spiders on the first floor. Watch out for those."
How long does it take to get to this swamp area?
It has been a long time since I've made the journey. If you have a swift horse, perhaps a day's travel.
What if we have a slow wagon?
Then it will probably take you more than a day, perhaps 2.
Is there a window nearby?
Let me see what room you're. Yeah, there is. They're tiny. They're more like arrow slits than they are windows. But yes, there's.
Is it light out? Is it dark out? Is it kind of light out?
It is. Again, as usual in Barovia, it's always hard to tell. But it looks like, based on previous days you've spent here, it is heading towards dusk. It is nearly evening.
Then why don't we? Then I'll turn to Reginald and say, well, why don't we go up and just do a sweep of what's above, and then settle here for the night and leave for the swamp in the morning if we're going after the helmet. If not, we're off to the Wizards of the Wines.
We could always ask this guy.
I would like to, before we leave, reinter these soldiers. It's the least they deserve.
Sure, I'll help.
I turn back to creepy dude, who never gave us his name. And
that's true.
And I say to him, can you tell us what is upstairs? Is there anything worth exploring?
I have not left this room in a very, very long time. From what I recall, the room, the level above is the battlements and the fortifications for the keep. It is essentially the roof of the building. What lies up there, since I've been up there last, I cannot tell you. But I can only tell you what it once was.
What do we have? We got the closet. We got that other little room over there.
I just want to take a quick look upstairs, and if it looks like it's more rubble and ruin, we'll just come back down and try to settle into somewhere for the night.
I will take a quick look in the closet over here.
Right. Quick closet over there. 1 second.
It's tons of treasure.
No.
Just let me know how much damage I take from the ceiling caving in.
It's amazing. His helmet is in there.
Yeah.
That would be the shortest quest ever. I need you to return my helmet, and here it is.
Why didn't you say so before?
That's right.
There's the problem. Somebody hid it behind the footwear.
Yes. I forgot. I left it in the closet. All right. So you open the door, and it is indeed a dusty closet. Hang on 1 second. Let me read to make sure if there's any cinder blocks that are going to fall on your head. Otherwise, this dusty closet has a slender window set into the north wall. This room is otherwise empty besides molding clothing, and that's it. Moldy clothing and dust. That's all you find in that room.
Okay, and what about the other little...
That room.
Oh, right in the
That's
corner.
a tower.
That is chock-loaded full of helmets. No.
Choose wisely.
Exactly.
There?
Yeah,
I'm not
little-
going to...
Looks like a
I'm
bear
not
and a
gonna turn-
crocodile.
You
or a
got-
wolf.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You see a rather stately-looking bedroom. Dim light enters this circular room through 5 cracked windows. The light falls on a large dust-covered bed in the center of the room, its posts topped with wood-carved dragons, of course, again with the dragons.
Mhm.
2 large animals flank the double doors. One is a brown bear standing on its hind legs, its claws outstretched. The other is a dire wolf, its face frozen in an evil snarl. Near the wolf lies an empty wooden chest.
How do we know it's empty?
It is open.
Ah,
Well, I guess you probably technically couldn't see from where you're standing, but yes, it appears to be empty.
That means there's obviously a false bottom, or it's a mimic. Or they're all mimics.
Or it's a mimic with a false bottom.
yes.
I bet you the room is a mimic, isn't it?
Yes. Now you know all my secrets. The aged gentleman turns at you and he says, if you choose to remain here for the night, you can rest in that room. No one will disturb you.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow morning we will be, I figured it would be kind to reinter your fellow, knights.
Soldiers.
If you would like to, join us for the service, you're, welcome to come.
He says, that is the most gracious offer. However, it would be difficult for me to attend such a ceremony. However, I will be there in spirit.
I see what you did there.
I understand what you mean. Hopefully we'll be able to return with your Legion's helmet soon.
He says, I would appreciate that. Very soon, I would like to rest.
Everyone deserves rest.
Take a nap.
All right. So are you all headed up to is somebody headed up to the 3rd floor?
Onward to the staircase.
Sure.
All right.
Apparently.
Let me do a quick scan of the top floor here just to make sure there's anything that says don't read this to the players.
Like a chest being empty?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. All right. So I'm just going to show you guys, instead of fiddling with the tokens and whatnot, I'll just show you guys the map of the top floor. And if you guys want to look at something or examine something closer, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just assuming that you guys are scanning the area.
Okey-dokey.
So that is the final floor. Oops, if you scroll up a little bit, James, I think you'll see the final floor.
Ah. I'm totally taking the ballista with us.
So you all would be coming up the staircase, probably this one over here. But obviously you could also come up this one. It really doesn't matter much. There really isn't much to see. There's 2 ballista, of course, which Mary's already mentioned. There's a huge gaping hole in the center. Towards the very bottom of the map, you can see part of the building that had collapsed that you saw on the lower levels. From where you're standing and a quick cursory look around, there doesn't appear to be anything up here except for what he said, ruin and rubble. There's
All right, and nothing in these rooms here?
Yeah, what's with the other staircases?
Those are just the other staircases.
Yeah, but there aren't any other staircases on the level below us.
These here, of course I'm pointing at them. Yeah, these over here, those are small, tiny turrets, basically. There's a single door that leads into them, so they're small rooms.
Directly opposite. Over here.
These
things.
Those are 2 other staircases that lead down to the 2nd floor, I believe. Those are over the chapel.
Oh, I didn't see anything over the chapel when we were down there. Okay.
Well, I can tell you those are staircases. Outside of that, I don't know what they are.
Where does this go?
Let's find out.
Let's split up, gang.
So you guys are going to open that door and then go down that grand staircase then?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Those 2 stairs don't even stop on this level. This one and this one, they have no way to get in there, so they must just go up higher. There must be another level.
There is.
Ah. Of course, we wouldn't know that because we don't know there's stairs there.
The parapet narrows to a width of only a few feet, ending before a sturdy wooden door set into a wall in the eastern tower, which is where you guys are standing now. This door appears to be barred from the inside and does not budge when you guys attempt to open the door. So you can attempt to break down the door if you'd like.
I think that sounds like a good plan for somebody who's not me.
Yep. Julius, get to it.
Like that?
Let's see, what'd you get? 19, yeah, that would definitely break down the door.
Yep.
Okay.
Paladin kick.
Wait to see rubble falls on him, and if not...
And then the floor collapses out from under me.
Quit reading ahead.
Oh no, we lost Reginald.
You can see... Uh-oh, we did lose Reginald. Oh dear.
Oh, there he is.
Weblin.
It's a blue screen.
All right. You can see ancient crumbling stairs that slowly climb to the peak of this tower. There is a stone floor, which on the bottom, and then of course the tower itself has a 30-foot high pitched roof. You notice as you open the door or force open the door, ravens roost on crisscrossing rafters above you, coming and going through wide holes in the roof. There is a 10-foot high, 5-foot wide arch windows evenly spaced around these walls, and each window consists of a lead latticework filled with small panes of transparent glass.
Interesting.
So it looks like this room has a large flat stone slab and is heavily decorated in the dragon motif again. All the walls, everything seems to be all etched with this silver dragon, and this appears to have some kind of religious aspect to it. It looks like it has the same idea as a mausoleum or a tomb or something along those lines. But where this stone slab, where you would expect maybe a sarcophagus or a coffer or something that would have, inter remains of something, there's nothing there. It's just a stone slab. There's only one thing to give any identifying marker in this room, and that is, of course, a name that is etched into the stone slab itself that says the dragon's name, Argent. Besides that, the tower is empty and silent, besides the cawing of the ravens.
And the stairs don't go anywhere? They just...
the stairs lead up to the... it looks like you are all on the entrance level, and then the stairs lead up to the second floor, and that's where the mausoleum actually is. So there's a floor above you.
Oh. Shall we check out the floor above us?
I'm sorry, I probably didn't explain that very well.
Oh.
You entered you entered into a room that just had a staircase. Going up the staircase actually has the mausoleum.
So
Wait,
he's assuming we went up the staircase.
Oh,
did.
Okay. Gotcha.
I made an assumption that you all went up the stairs.
All right. And nothing in the mausoleum? Nothing interesting?
No.
Okay.
Just like I said, just the stone slab and a
Okay.
bunch of ravens that have roosted in the rafters.
The
Okay.
ravens, is there like an obvious way in and out of the tower? Is there, like,
There's holes in the ceiling. There's holes that
Okay.
are large enough for the ravens to exit and enter.
okay.
Is there any connection up there to those two other staircases?
No, there is not. Those seem to be separate.
Mystery
Curious.
staircases. Mike, I'm gonna pull out some of my rations and I'm gonna break them up and throw them on the floor for the ravens.
Okay.
And then I'll head back downstairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back downstairs. I got bodies to start transporting.
Yeah, I'll help Reginald with that.
Okay.
Oh,
So the light is slowly beginning to dim. You all, based on the lighting now, you're guessing it's pretty close to twilight if it isn't already.
All right, so we're going to intern the bodies tomorrow, right? We're not going out in the middle
yeah,
of the
tomorrow.
night.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so probably just go back to that room where we're told we can rest in peace. And
Hey,
Somebody
Or-
should check on the horse.
Rest in pieces.
Oh yeah, the horse
I'll go check on the horse.
that's tied on the first floor.
Of course, of course.
So is someone going? Are you all going to check on the horse? Are you sending some?
I guess I'll go if nobody
I'm
else
going.
volunteers.
I'm going.
you
I'll
guys
go down.
go,
We gotta go down there anyway to bring the bodies down. So
and I'll
I'll be
stay
right there.
with Tezzacotl so that none of us are left alone.
Okay.
And then what's Lloyd doing? Is he just following us around?
David is following. Yeah, he's just following you guys around.
So I'll help Reginald bring the bodies down.
And Sabin can help do that too.
Yes,
He can make himself useful.
he will.
Yeah.
Tezzacotl and I can go and make up the bedroom so it's at least a little safe to sleep in.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So you all go about your business, unless you go into the room that you guys know clearly had spiders scuttling around in. Nothing seems to bother you.
I do not go into a room with spiders.
All right.
There's only one room we know that had spiders, and I think the revenants killed them all.
I doubt it.
Well, they killed at least one of them.
That's true.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, it's better than seeing it with someone else's eyes.
Yes.
I keep them in my pocket.
All right. So you have taken all the slain undead downstairs. You checked on the horse. The horse is spooked, but it's still there. It's still alive. But
I'll feed it.
okay. And I suppose that after you guys try and make the accommodations as best, as hospitable as you can, and then you guys all have a long rest. I guess is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna actually stay downstairs with the horse,
Okay.
and I'll rest down there.
All right. On the first floor, by yourself, just you.
I'll
and the
stay
horse?
with him.
Okay.
I was gonna say I've got the horse.
Yes.
I'm not
And
alone.
then David can stay wherever he wants to.
Okay. So I guess then Savid will stay with Bree Pine and Tezzacotl upstairs, and you and the horse and Julius will be downstairs.
Of course.
All right.
So, Julius, tomorrow after we get out of here, we'll drop David off at his camp,
Yes.
and then we'll go looking for the helmet.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So you all uneasily rest or uneasily settle down into your bedrolls or whatever you passes for a bedroll, and you all do get 8 hours of rest. Of course, it is very uneasy rest. You have some very unsettling visions or nightmares or dreams, if you will. But yes, you do get the benefits of a long rest. So you guys are all back up at hit points. You get all your abilities and spells back and so on.
Awesome.
Hooray.
So we should go get the bodies interned early and start either going to the Wizard of the Wines or going to the Shrek's swamp.
The first thing we gotta do is drop David off at his camp.
Oh, that's true. Where's this camp?
Near Milwaukee.
Yes, just outside of Valaki. Unfortunately, I mean, very admirable effort for you guys, but unfortunately, that's going to take you about an hour and a half to 2 hours in the opposite direction that you need to go.
Oh,
Naturally.
Of course it does.
We can't let him go alone. He's gonna end up dead.
That's probably true.
yeah, but
We got the wagon, so we should be able to move pretty quickly.
all right, fine.
I'm sure the horse will be very happy to be outside again, and it'll maybe move a little quicker than normal. At least for the first half an hour.
Yeah, it looks like if you guys follow the road, yeah, you're looking at probably it'll be about 2 hours back to Valaki, it looks like. Give or take.
Well, it's not that long.
So
about
are
how
you
long it'll take to get to Krezek or
Kazukov?
Krezek or
Krezek. From Valaki to Krezek is probably going to be double that. So probably about, it depends on where you're going. If you're going to the Crazy Wizard's Tower, which I don't know who highlighted that, but that wasn't part of the plan. Or if you guys are going to Krezek, if you're going to Krezek, that's going to be about a 4-hour journey.
so it'll be about 6 hours to get everything done and get over there.
Yep.
So if we get up early and we get all the bodies in by 9, that means by 3 we'll be over. And we got 3 hours to do whatever in town.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Let's just make sure we don't diddle daddle.
Diddle daddle. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's also really hard for a cat to say. So
Obviously,
All
it's
right.
it's very important that we get there on time. There's no need for anybody to roll on any random encounter tables at all.
A very valid point, Greg. Please forgive me while I make some rolls that are completely unrelated to what's currently happening.
Okay.
All right, so you guys have a light breakfast, basically whatever you have on hand. I assume it's something related to wolf meat.
Probably.
yeah.
Spider Krispies.
And then it is a slow ride back. It is drizzly and rainy. There's a low rumble of thunder in the distance, and you guys slog your way through mud as you make your way back to Vallaki. And give or take 2 hours later, you encounter nothing on the roads, and you are once again back at Vallaki. So Savid thanks you all greatly, and he says, "I am in your debt." As if you guys recall, the actual camp isn't in Vallaki; it's just outside. So he will lead you to the camp. Now I can pull up the town of Vallaki. So hang on a second. He says, "I know that you all are pressed for time, but if you wish to stop and rest, you are more than welcome to do so. And if there's anything that we can do for you, we will be more than happy to accommodate you in any way." If you guys can you guys see the map now? Yes, you can. Okay, so if you look all the way down in the corner, right about there. Yep. Once again,
where it says camp.
Where it says camp. So you guys are maybe not even a half an hour away from Vallaki itself. You're just on the outskirts of town. Probably a half an hour if you walk leisurely. So do you choose to stay here at the gypsy camp, or do you guys basically make sure that he is fine and good, and then you're off on your way again?
We just make sure he's okay and I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Unless they have meat on a stick, in which case we're gonna have to drag Kazukov away.
Well, they do have meat on a stick, and they also have some warmed mulled wine and other things to fend off the chill in the air. So it depends on how long you guys plan on staying. If you're staying long enough, basically to rest your horse and give him a little water, or if you guys are gonna warm up by the fire for a little while and eat some meat on a stick.
How cold is it?
Moving.
It's like around 50 degrees, roughly. It's like a cold rain. Just wet and damp. Not necessarily chilly, but yeah, cold.
I suppose it would be okay letting the horse rest for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Since we got a big ride in front of us.
So this camp is much like the other one that's outside of Barovia. These are all very similar. You can see that there are a lot of dusk elves here that look a lot like Savid. And of course, once they learn of what happened, they all are very receptive, and they thank you, and they give you anything you want, really, any food or drink or anything reasonable. They will do what they can to try and accommodate it for you.
Well, we can definitely use some rations. I mean, some stuff that's other than wolf to carry with us, and
okay,
some breads and stuff.
They will offer up 2 to 3 days of food, depending on how much you want to carry. It's not like iron rations, but it's actually, like loaves of bread and cheese and things that you would actually carry that aren't, salted heavily and dried out.
Perfect. We have a wagon, so we can carry stuff on the wagon.
The bread will turn into iron rations over time.
Or penicillin.
Or penicillin, yes.
Or penicillin, of course.
And that may come in handy later.
It just might. All right, so we'll say you guys probably hang out at the camp for about an hour or so, plus or minus, and then you head out and start making your way towards the town of Krezek. Is that the plan?
As far as I know.
Yep.
Okie
Yump.
dokie.
Sure.
It's a yump.
All right, let's go back to the big map. 1 second.
Let's see what's on the big board.
You arrive at the Green Snake River. I would like to ford the river.
So we have to cross the bridge, go up and around by the Crazy Wizard's Tower, cross another bridge, and then we're there.
Well, you're kind of on the horns of a dilemma here because the path to the north is shorter, but the dotted line indicates that that's not really a road. That's more like a rough trail. You guys could probably navigate it pretty easily, but the horse and the cart probably would not be able to. There's stuff like rocks, boulders, falling over trees and whatnot. The longer,
line.
What's that?
There's a dotted line.
Yeah, where's the dotted line?
Oh, that's a dotted line that I can see that apparently you can't.
Alrighty.
Yes. So the trail to the north is very rough and uncut. It doesn't look like it's been used in a very long time and has fallen into disuse.
So
or
we'd have to
disrepair.
take the South Road and then...
South Road is longer, but seems to be used on a regular basis. So easier on the horse than the cart.
All right. Well, I guess South Road it is.
Okay. And then once you get to the second bridge, that is when I make some rolls that are unrelated to this current story. Da, 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 da. Okay. And you guys have never actually reached the second bridge, so hang on a second. I need to find out if a cinder block falls on you when you get to the second bridge.
Just Julius.
Yes, specifically me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the cartoons where it's just like a dark storm cloud that hovers over a character's head.
Well, it's kind of like that last D&D game we played a couple years ago where we're all underground for some ridiculous amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
And every time we went into rest mode on Matt, it was always Matt's watch, no matter what. That's when the random encounter would attack.
Yep.
That is true. I remember that. That was uncanny.
That's why we ended up not letting him have watch at all.
Yeah, it got so bad that you guys basically said you don't get watch anymore because if you do, then we get an encounter.
I was very happy for that.
Yeah, it was one of those, let's cut through the mountain. It'll be a lot quicker. 6 months later.
Yes.
Yes.
It probably would have been quicker if we would have just stayed up on top and used the mining pick to mine our way through that little cave-in.
Yeah. We'll do a shortcut through the mountain. 6 months later. You are now approaching what is called the Raven River Crossroads. As you approach the second bridge, you can see a weather-worn signpost that is resting on the road itself. The three arms of the signpost point along the three branches of the road. The arm pointing north reads Krezek, and through the woods you can see an arching stone bridge spanning a river. The arm pointing east reads Valaki, which of course is the way that you guys are coming from. And the road slopes up gradually in that direction. The final arm points to the southwest and reads The Wizard of the Vines. Or sorry, the Wizard of the Wines. I think I need my eyes checked. The road slopes gently downward in that direction.
What was the crossroads called?
It is called the Raven River Crossroads.
No, Dev, not right now.
Listen to your mother, Dev.
Is it a big bridge, a little bridge, wide bridge?
So you guys are right there. It is. It's a bridge basically wide enough for 2 wagons to pass next to each other, side by side. And it spans the river. The bridge itself, the river is maybe 200 or 300 feet wide at the most. So the bridge is probably about 400 feet long.
Wow.
So it's the bigger of the 2 bridges.
Well, we have to cross it, right? I mean,
Yes, you do have to cross it.
So does it look sturdy?
It is a bridge made of hewn stone. So yeah, it looks like it is in decent shape and doesn't look like it's going to collapse anytime soon.
Julius, go out to the center of it and jump up and down.
Bobo the bullet stopper to the rescue.
When you get out to the middle, I need you to read the following line. Run, you fools. Run.
Poor Julius. It's like, oh man, this food looks spoiled. Hey, Julius, eat this.
Yes.
Give it to Julius. He'll eat anything.
Is this milk spoiled?
All right.
So just is this going over a river at this point, right?
Yes, there is a river that seems to feed into Lake Baratok, which is just to the north of you where you guys are now.
And does it seem to be a rushing river, or?
It seems like there is a current to it. You can see that the water is moving over rocks and other obstacles that are in the river. The river itself is called the Raven River, which would explain why the bridge is called the Raven River Crossroads.
Is anybody else around? I mean, can we see anybody else?
You guys have not seen anything or anyone on the road since you left the gypsy camp and the lackey.
Can we see the tower from the bridge?
Normally you think you would. I mean, it's from here to the tower is. Let me actually look at the bottom. There's a legend. 1 square is a quarter mile. You are 1, 2, 3. No, you're about a mile away. So not quite close enough. On a clear day, maybe you might be able to see by looking up the river into Lake Baratok.
Is there such a thing as a non-foggy day in Barovia?
Yeah, right. They're very rare. On those days is usually when there's people run out into the streets and start singing and dancing, because it's about how often it happens.
And
So D&D becomes a musical?
Yes, it does. Yes, it becomes the sound of music, I think.
I will not be playing that week.
That's
there's there's like no toll house or anything like that, right?
No. There doesn't look like there's any guardhouse or tower or any kind of building in the distance. You don't see anything on either side of the bridge.
I don't know.
Okay. We got a schedule to keep.
All right.
If we want to be able to look around town before sunset, we gotta.
Yeah, and get a room and.
Once again, it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to tell what time it is, but you guys are saying it's probably a little after lunchtime. It's probably around 1 o'clock, roughly.
Okay. Onward and upward.
Okay, so everyone begins across. Well, Julius, are you actually going to venture out on the bridge yourself, or is everyone just going to?
If they are not comfortable going over the bridge without me checking it first, I will check it first.
Oh, I was just joking.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. All right, so everyone crosses over the bridge. Nothing happens. You make it to the other side and continue on your journey.
Right.
From here, it's maybe about another hour or so. And after about an hour's time, you are slowly approaching the village of Krezek. Krezk. Yeah, I guess that would be Krezek.
Big K.
The big K.
Could be Krezk.
It could be Krezek, but I'm going to call it Krezek. Somebody corrects me. Okay, so as you guys basically veer off the main road and start following the narrow road that leads to the village, you can see that the steady drizzle that has been following you, has been plaguing you all morning, has finally stopped. It is still wet and cold, but it looks like the steady drizzle that has been following you all morning has finally stopped. The road branches to the north, and you can see that it climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone and reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. This large wall encloses a tiny settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you can see just the tops of snow-covered pine trees and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell echoes from somewhere within the village itself. The village clings to the mountainside, high above this valley below, and a steady chime is inviting. The bell invites you and is a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog which you have been growing so accustomed to. It's hard to tell from the distance you're at, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up to a very small abbey situated just above the village.
I don't know if I want to go there. We have not had luck with the churches in this land.
Yeah, right?
Oh, come on. This one will be good, I promise.
Now, is there a gate to go into this walled
Yes,
city?
there is a sturdy stone gatehouse. The road terminates at a gatehouse, you can see.
All right. Well, I
approach the gatehouse.
I pull up a cloak
Okay.
or a cowl over my head, so
Got
I don't
it.
freak people out.
All right. The air has grown colder as you have gradually... Oh dear. What was that?
That was the air growing colder.
I guess. The air is growing. You guys are gradually going up in elevation. You have been over probably the last hour. You have slowly gone up a steep incline. The air has definitely grown a little colder as you approach, and you can see the walled settlement before you. There are two square towers with peaked roofs that flank a stone archway into which set a pair of 12-foot-tall, iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the door is the name Krezek. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears. They watch you nervously as your cart approaches the door.
So I will approach. I'll basically pull the cart up about 20 feet from the gate.
Okay.
And if there's no obvious, people approaching us at that point, I will address the people on top of the wall.
Okay. When you pull up your cart, you can see besides the 2 spear bearers that are up on the wall, you can also see that it appears 2 archers merge. They come into view, and you can see that they have their bows in their hands, but they don't have any arrows drawn. One of the men, the militia man, addresses you directly and says, "You there? What is your business in the village of Krezek?"
Side note, guys, why are we here?
That's the easiest way to get to the swamp.
Yeah, I remember going to the swamp.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
To
picturing
look for the
Julius.
dragon.
Julius
Unless we're gonna go along the shore of the lake.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's safe.
I don't know that any of this is safe, but anyway. So I will address them since they have addressed me. I will say, well met. My name is Julius. Paladin of Helm, god of guardians. We are merely passing through and seek refuge for the night.
The other militiaman with the bearing the spear says, "What are the contents of your cart?"
What do we have?
We have food, I know that. We probably
yeah.
have horse stuff.
We have food, we have horse food, we have us.
I say we have meager provisions just for us and the horse.
He seems to give you kind of an affirmative nod, and he calls down, "Open the gates." You can hear some wood on stone and other sounds, and you can see slowly, with a heavy groan, the two doors slowly begin to open up for you. You can hear the sound of heavy hinges, metal on metal, as the Greg, are your services for hire?
I'm just trying to enhance the experience for the audience.
Excellent. They open up the gates essentially just wide enough for you to pass the cart through, and they motion for you to come inside.
I will pull the cart inside.
I will follow.
We will follow.
We're in the cart. You have entered the town of Krezek. They quickly close the gates behind you, and let me pull up a map of Krezek for you real quick here.
Oh, cool! We get a map.
Yay, map!
I'm really surprised that Sava didn't end up attacking us. I was really expecting him to turn on us.
Never trust the NPCs.
Okay. If you guys can see.
Yep.
Nice.
So really, it is just if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the map, you guys can see the gatehouse that you had passed through. It just has a picture of it, just to give you guys a visualization of it.
And
but
this be the gatehouse?
Yes, that would be where the gatehouse is. Correct.
It's kind of cool.
That sounds kind of loud. Is the music loud for you guys?
What music?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
All right.
I can't even hear it.
So Krezek really is just a very small village. It looks like it's a self-sustaining village. It looks pretty much like Barovia or Vallaki, but much smaller in scale. Probably maybe 24 buildings at the most, maybe a little bit more than that. So you're guessing 100 people, maybe 200 people. As I mentioned before, there appears to be some sort of resting on a hill above the village. You can see an abbey or some kind of religious structure that rests up on top of the hill. There is definitely a small dirt switchback that goes back and forth and snakes its way up.
There are a lot of trees.
Yes.
Comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of these trees are fruit-bearing trees. It looks
Nice.
like apples, peaches, etc. One of the militia guards says to you, "There's not much that we have in the way of accommodations, but if you are looking for a place to rest, we can definitely make a recommendation for you."
What time of day is it at this point?
It is early afternoon.
Guys, do we need to stay, or are we literally passing through?
Well, there's really nowhere to pass through to.
If we have, if we use some of those, what kind of fruit do they have on the trees?
As I said, it is apples, pears, peaches,
Apples.
and fruit that you're not familiar with. One
Isn't
of the
it
fruit.
kind of cold for peaches?
Yes, most of these are not in season yet.
If there's some apples, we can get them to go with the wolf meat. We can make sausage.
There you
Apple wolf sausage. That sounds.
But Matt, to your point, yes, the climate isn't normally warm enough for fruit-bearing trees. These trees somehow do bear fruit, but it's very meager. It's not like you're not getting huge apples. You're getting like crab apples. So the fruit does seem to come to fruition. Is that right? But it's not. You're not going to get a huge crop of fruit.
So what you're saying is the fruit is not good.
The fruit is not good. The fruit is mediocre at best.
Okay.
All right. Well, we should find an inn, and then make a plan to head out in the morning.
Do we need any holy water?
Huh?
Do we need any holy water? We can see if the Abbey has any holy water.
We can always use holy water, but let's do the inn first.
Yeah.
So I turn to the guards and I say, "Do you have an inn in this town?"
Unfortunately, we do not. We are just a simple group of villagers. The burgomaster has a small cottage that he is willing to lend out to visitors and travelers from afar. You might want to talk to him and see if he has any accommodations available for you. Otherwise, the burgomaster,
would we find him?
He nods. He says he lives in one of the. He lives in the largest house. If you follow this road, whoever's singling it out on the map, that is his house, and it is the largest one in the village. Matt, I make a roll for you. So hang on a second. The militia guard, Matt, seems to want to say something to you, and then he kind of just nods and says, "Follow the road, and the burgomaster, I'm sure, will be ready to greet you when you arrive."
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds too easy, but it's a different city.
All right. So you guys head down the road. You take, boss man or burgomaster. Yeah, it's pretty much.
I'm not going to spell that. I know I'm going to spell it wrong.
It's
right.
Let's see, Burgo, Burgomaster. Yeah, that looks right.
I thought there was an I in there.
Yes.
Well, if it's a burgomaster, if it's a burgomeister.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you all make a short journey down the road. You can see what appears to be a very stately looking building. Kind of, I guess the best way to call it would be like a two-door construction with exposed beams and the white plaster walls and the granite slated roof. The area around this building is very well manicured, and you can see it's a small gated area, and you can see two very large gray colored dogs, they look like they're large enough to be wolves, but they appear to be dogs that seem to be kind of meandering around in the gated area around the house.
Approach the gate.
Okay. The gate is unlocked and is closed, but unlocked.
And there's nobody out here, right?
That is correct. There is nobody out here.
Do you want us to wait out here? Do you want us to go in with you?
Well, I mean, I'm probably not the best person to go up, so I would either say Julius or Brepine or you, Reginald, would be a good person to talk to.
Mike, what would be a good role for, not diplomacy, but like protocol? Figure out protocol for this.
in your travels, you probably have had a little bit of diplomacy, either gifted to you or you learned basically by watching others. Since there isn't really a diplomacy role, you could go with insight. What's that?
I was going to say maybe history.
History would work, or insight. You could do either one of those.
Yee. Wow. Well, this is a foreign land.
Yeah. So yeah, with the 10, you're guessing based on previous interactions, the burgomaster is basically the boss. He's the head honcho. He's the guy that needs to be it should be treated like the boss. So obviously you need to be respectful, but yeah, with the 10 you're not really sure how else to handle this situation. At this point, I'll also remind you all, if I didn't remind you last game, you all should have your inspiration again.
Yeah.
You're my inspiration.
Oh.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
No, Debbie. Not right now.
Not right now.
All right. So, yeah, I'll say let me approach the building solo and see what I can find out.
Okie dokie. I'll stand here just to make sure, to jump into action if anything goes south.
I don't suspect anything will, but always good to be prepared.
So Tezzacotl, as you kind of turn away from Julius and look around, there's not too many people out on the road. This village seems to be a village that's very agriculture based. I mean, farmers and whatnot. But you do see that you are getting basically what you've come accustomed to is the Barovia stare. Everyone seems to be looking, or at least gawking at you somewhat. They try to be discreet about it, but you've become accustomed to it to this point that you're used to people kind of staring at you and your comrades and your companions. So
yeah, I still got the cowl on just because I know that people spook really easy when they see my cat face.
Right. So most everybody seems to be pretty subtle. They seem to be going about their daily business with, maybe a sidelong glance in your general direction. There are two children in the distance that seem to be they've dropped all pretense and they're just basically overtly staring at the group of you. So,
Look, we're the town freaks.
Strangers from the outside. All right. So Julius, what are you doing?
I approach the building.
Okay. It is a ornate wrought iron gate. You can see that it has a crest of a family. A family crest is embossed on the gate itself. The gate opens very smoothly, seems to be well taken care of. And you walk up basically a flagstone pathway up to the door. You can see a large, heavy wooden door, and it looks like it has a large knocker. A metal knocker. Oh, Reginald. But, a heavy iron knocker set into the door.
Yeah. Not a pair of them, though.
No. You're thinking of the wrong movie.
I will use said knocker to knock on the door.
Okay. After a few moments, you hear some movement from behind the door, and the door opens up a little bit. You can see somebody, a young woman dressed clearly in what you would consider servant's clothes or housekeeping clothes, dressed as some kind of staff. And she says, "Afternoon, my lord. May I help you?"
Yes, I am hoping to have a meeting with the burgomaster.
You wish to speak to Dmitry Kazukov?
Yes, please.
I will see if he is receiving any visitors today. Please wait here. And before you can respond, she closes the door. Unless you do anything, several minutes pass. She opens the door again, and she says, "Please follow me."
I will follow her.
Okay. As she lets you into the building, you see that her eyes kind of drop to your weapons, but she doesn't say anything. And she turns away from you and then leads you in. Again, as I said, a very stately-looking building. You see what appears to be a very large living room or entertainment room, some kind of den. There is a large fire that is in a fireplace there. You can see adorning the walls on both sides. You see exposed rafters, but on both sides and above the mantelpiece are trophies from various beasts. Some of them you recognize, and some of them you don't. But the walls are completely covered with all kinds of mounted and stuffed trophies of various creatures, both familiar and unfamiliar to you.
The most dangerous game.
She leads you over to a large stuffed chair, and she says, "Please make yourself at home. Can I get you anything to drink?"
No, I'm good, thank you.
She says, "You're welcome to sit down if you'd like. The burgomaster will be down momentarily."
I will remain standing.
Okay. There's two large chairs that are in front of this large roaring fire. While outside was cold and wet and damp, inside is quite roasty and toasty. It seems to be some kind of seasoned wood. You don't know if it's apple wood or some kind of wood that's burning that's giving off some kind of faint fragrance or aroma that smells. It smells pleasant. It's not bad. But yes, there's some seasoned wood that's definitely burning in the fire. After a couple minutes of silence, you hear movement behind you, and you turn to see a very noble-looking gentleman walk into the room. He is clean shaven, but has a very large, bushy mustache, handlebar mustache. He is dressed in what you would recognize to be noble attire. He's dressed in silks. He's dressed in fine furs. He is not wearing any armor. He doesn't have any weapons. He has what appears to be some boots that have been polished, very high polished boots, and he has a cape, like a purple satin cape that kind of bellows behind him. If he's very dark skinned, not quite ebony skin, but maybe something that you would say is tan, like almost a caramel color.
Hamilton?
What's that?
Like George Hamilton?
Well, I was going to say more like Lando Calrissian, but okay, we'll go with George Hamilton. The one thing that you do notice is that besides a very ornate-looking sash that he has on his left hand, he has several very large rings, ornate rings on his hand that look obviously very expensive. So he walks into the room, and he kind of looks you up and down, and he says, "I am Dmitry Kazukov, and who are you?"
I will give him a deep bow and say, "My lord, I am Julius Paladin of Helm, god of guardians. Myself and my companions seek shelter for the night. We were told by the guards that you may have a cottage that we may perchance use."
He gives you a nod, and he kind of walks, does a large circle around you. He doesn't get within about 5 feet of you, and you can tell as he starts walking around the room, you can see that he's basically giving you the once over. He's looking you up and down, and he says, "And tell me, what is your business here in the town of Krezek?"
We are merely passing through. We will be leaving most likely early in the morning, and we have business in the swamp to the north.
And we wanted to use your Airbnb.
He kind of nods, and he says, "What do you think you will find out in those swamps?"
Well, from what we were told, there may be a helm of great importance.
A helm,
Yes,
similar to the one that you wear?
similar, but more ornate.
He starts thoughtfully pulling at his mustache. And he says, I've seen people like you come through my village before. He says, sometimes they pass without incident and other times they cause much trouble. I am wondering which tidings you bring with you.
We have no intention of causing any trouble. We merely need a place to stay for the night, to warm ourselves, and then in the morning move on.
He says, he kind of looks at you and he says, I would like to believe you, but you do not take off your helmet, which makes me suspicious that you're hiding something. Are you and your friends hiding anything? What is your true purpose? I will find out sooner or later, so you might as well tell me now.
I say, I have already told you our true purpose. If you feel that removing my helm would show you that I am honest, I will do so.
He kind of thoughtfully pulls at his mustache again. And he stares at the fire for a moment and he turns back to you and he says, there's a small cottage that is behind this building. You may lodge there for the evening. Amelia, who let you into the building, will take care of anything that you might need. I expect that you will be gone in the morning.
Thank you very much, my lord.
He kind of nods and then he turns and walks out of the room. Amelia is, as he walks out, you can see that the young woman that let you into the building is standing at the entrance to the room itself.
Oh, Amelia.
She nods and she says, "My lord, I can escort you and your friends to the cottage to make sure the accommodations are to your liking."
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. While that's happening inside, are you guys doing anything else besides just hanging out and waiting for Julius to come back outside?
Yeah, pretty much just pacing around the cart at this point.
Okay. At this point in time, besides you, Tezcatl, Reginald and Breepine, you both notice that there's two young children that just are flat out staring at you. They don't seem to be subtle about it at all. They don't seem to be approaching any closer than about maybe 30 feet away. If you wave at them, they quickly realize that they've been, that they're not as subtle as they thought they were, and they quickly scurry off into the trees.
Come back.
You call out to them to come back.
Yeah.
All right.
We have ice cream and puppies.
A young boy with sandy brown hair, curly hair, comes out of the bushes and kind of looks at you.
Were you watching us?
He says, "Uh-huh."
I would imagine they don't get many visitors around here.
He looks like he's about 10, somewhere in that area.
Well, did you see anything interesting?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Did you see anything interesting?
We don't see people like you very often.
Like me?
Like you.
Oh, I see a lot of people like me. Do you live here?
Uh-huh.
What do your parents do?
Mostly they gather let's see, vegetables from the garden. milk from the cows and the goats, and they make shoes for everybody in the village.
Have you always lived here, or did you live someplace else before?
I've always lived in Krezek.
So you were born here.
Uh-huh.
And are you a human?
I think so.
I'm not.
I mean, he looks human to you.
Yeah. I'm not a human. He's probably taller than I am. At 10.
Yes, he is. He's probably probably has you by a couple inches.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, you're not a little girl or a boy like me?"
No. I am a full-sized, full-fledged, fully grown gnome.
Did a witch cast a spell on you to make you so small?
No. No, my mother was this size and my father was this size, and size doesn't matter. I am a magnificent wizard, yet I am this size.
His eyes widen a little bit. He says, "Oh, you can cast spells like a witch or a warlock?"
Not quite like a witch or a warlock, but I can cast them like a wizard. And I make a mage hand, scoop up some dirt from the ground, and just sprinkle it around.
He is completely enthralled at what you're doing. You might as well have transported him to another place another time, because he doesn't understand what just happened. You just blew his little mind.
Then I make a little minor illusion and make an illusionary squirrel run up my shoulder and then disappear.
Okay. So he is absolutely confounded at the magic you're doing. He thinks that you're doing some amazing trick. The girl that was with him, Reginald, has now kind of approached you and is kind of looking at you guys and she says, "Are you a gnome too?" Short answer, yes with a butt. Long answer, no with an if.
I am a halfling.
Are halflings like no? What's that?
Kind of.
I am a halfling. Hear me roar.
Are you able to cast magic like your friend? And of course, he's indicating towards Breepine.
I used my telepathy to stay in his head. No, not really.
All right. So now you've blown his mind, or her mind rather. He said, "How did you do that? I heard your voice, but your mouth didn't move."
All of my people are able to do that.
Papa says that you might have been touched by the devil. Is that true? Well, actually, I'll rephrase that by saying Papa says that you've been touched by a devil. Is that true?
Show me on the doll where the devil touched you.
Exactly.
Probably at some point they touched him.
No, I've not been touched by an uncle.
Instead of touched by an angel. What about your friend over there? And she points to Tezzacotl, who's got his cowl pulled up around him and is kind of standing next to the horse. Is he a halfling or a gnome?
No, he's just hungry.
She looks a little apprehensive and says, "What does he eat?"
Anything on a stick.
Tezzacotl, are you doing anything in particular? It looks like the children are just, being curious, being children.
I'm looking over their way, but just trying to keep my face shrouded, just because I know that I don't want to scare them off.
She does seem like she's curious, and she's trying to look under your hood, under your cowl, but
she comes over.
She's not getting any closer, but you can definitely see that she's kind of like lowering her head a little bit to see if she can peek under the cowl.
I'll kind of like move my head back and forth just to I'm looking at her.
Okay.
And no, I don't want to be a complete dick and take the cowl off, so I will just
take off the cowl and howl at the moon, and then bite your tongue and spit out blood.
Hey James, if she checks under your hood, make sure she checks your oil too.
Yeah, that's right.
This is time for a tune-up.
Yeah, put some Alka-Seltzer in my mouth so I start foaming and just...
Excellent. Pro tip, bite the head off a bat. That usually gets people very upset.
All right, well, it looks like it's 10 o'clock, so why don't we go ahead and take our first break? Our break. It's not really our first break. And then we will be back in about 10 or so minutes.
All right.
All right, here we go.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission. You'll find our snack bar chock full of good things to eat and drink. Tasty, tempting hot dogs, thirst-quenching soft drinks, fresh, crunchy popcorn, a complete assortment of delicious candy, and a full line of cigarettes. You've plenty of time, so visit the snack bar now. A tasty treat will double your enjoyment of the show. For your convenience, we shall keep you informed of the remaining intermission time, 3 minutes before the next show starts.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
The next show will start in 2 minutes.
Yes, Toddy, the chocolate malt in a can.
It's so good hot. It's so good cold.
It hits the spot with young and old.
Yes, toddy pleases everybody. Delicious chocolate malted toddy, made with rich, real milk, not powdered milk.
So come and get it, everybody. It's time to drink your chocolate toddy.
Just a minute, folks. Yes, that's all it takes to visit our refreshment counter in the lobby. There you'll find popcorn and an assortment of popular candy bars to please every taste. Try one of these delicious candy bars. Big Time, Butternut, Milkshake, Payday. Topped with Hollywood's super rich coating of the kind you like best. They taste wonderful, they're delicious, they're nutritious. Get one at our confection counter in the lobby now. The next show will start in 1 minute.
How much shock can you take? It will haunt you forever. From the depths of evil comes a diabolic killer of beautiful women. The vampire's coffin. See a vampire's body stolen from its tomb. A psycho killer removes the stakes so the vampire can again prey on beautiful women. It's in the vampire's coffin. And to complete a double night of horror, a monstrous nightmare of terror turned loose in a fight to the death. The robot versus the Aztec mummy. They will bring you a night of terror. We dare you to see them, but don't come alone. The Vampire's Coffin, in an all-new double horrorama show with The Robot versus the Aztec Mummy, presented in Hypnoscope.
Monster of the deep, with a blood-chilling pattern for murder, a flood of action, terror, and suspense that spell the Embalmer. She-Beast, deadlier than Dracula, wilder than the werewolf, more frightening than Frankenstein.
A young girl is murdered at a famous English boarding school near London. The newspapers call the mad killer the Sinister Monk.
Help! Help! The monk was here! I'm scared. I'm so scared.
Who is he? Who is the Sinister Monk?
What was that?
Whoever gets in the way of the Sinister Monk is a dead man. Scotland Yard uses every means at its disposal to capture the ruthless murderer. Who is his next victim? Don't miss the Sinister Monk.
The terror of the unknown reaches out from forgotten centuries, and a horror legend 2,000 years old comes alive as a hideous demon rises from the grave to bring a new high in horror to the motion picture screen. The Vampire and the Ballerina. No one is safe from this monster of the night, this creature from the crypt of the living dead, who stalks the countryside in search of victims for his insatiable bloodlust. The Vampire and the Ballerina. Into the evil domain of the Vampire King comes a company of beautiful dancers. And the most desirable of them all is the ballerina. Helpless in the grip of his satanic power that brings everlasting enslavement to her soul. The screen has never reached such heights of fright, such soul-shivering suspense, such heart-stopping horror. You will remember for always the startling, haunting motion picture, The Vampire and the Ballerina.
And we are back, I think. What happened to the video? We have a video somewhere.
Swerve.
There we go. Oh, and then we have to add us back in, and there we go. Yay. So, you know, I honestly really now want to see the Aztec mummy versus the robot. That just looks like how does that even happen? How do you mix those two genres together?
They pick names out of a hat. I don't know. I can't answer those.
Did they bring an Aztec mummy to like a scientific lab, or were they building a robot inside of an old Mayan tomb? Or
all of those movies were so cringy. The Vampire and the Ballerina. None of the dancers are doing actually ballet.
But one of them is filmed in hypnovision.
Yeah. The Killer Monk one, the guy takes a swing and you can see him miss the other guy by like a foot. That was bad.
All right. Mike.
So at this point in time, Matt, while everyone else is interacting with these two curious children, you are coming out of the building, and you can see this all unfolding in front of you. You're with, of course, the servant.
Eloise,
yeah. Once they see Eloise is with you, the kids both turn around and quickly depart. They start walking very quickly away from the building.
Good news, everyone!
What's that?
We have a cottage.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's all. That's great. Let's bring our wagon around and set up the room for the night.
Just follow Eloise here.
So Eloise takes you down a very narrow, down the road, just a little bit further from where you guys are right now. You can see there is a small cottage just to the right of the burgomaster's building house. It is as promised. It's a very small cottage. Has 2 bedrooms and basically a small kitchen and a living room area. She opens up the door. Everything seems to be in order. I mean, it's clean. It's well kept. The only thing, of course, is there's no fire. But besides that, everything else seems to be in place. She turns to you, Matt, and she says, will these accommodations be satisfactory for you, my lord?
These will be excellent. Thank you very much.
She says, if there's anything that you or your companions need, please come and find me at the house, and I will see to it that anything else is brought to you.
Thank you very much.
I will ask before she leaves, is there any sort of nightlife here, or is there a tavern, or?
We are just simple villagers. There is no tavern or inn to speak of, and no one journeys outside of these walls once the sun sets, for the fear of the lichen.
They like the nightlife. They like to boogie.
These hills and these mountains have been haunted for many years, or plagued for many years by werewolves and wolves. To journey out of these walls after the sun goes down is asking for an early death.
What phase of the moon is it?
That is a good question. Boy.
Of course, it's a good question.
Hey. I'm going to say the moon is waning.
So not full.
Not full.
All right.
She says, if there's nothing else you need, then I will take my leave.
Yes.
She gives a quick curtsy, and then she walks away. As I said, it's a small fireplace. There is a small area to cook food if you wanted to cook it. Two bedrooms, each with a very large bed in it. And then there's a large, I'll call it a sofa for the lack of a better word. And then another chair that are seated close to the fireplace. There is some food here, but there's not a whole lot. It's basically a bowl of fruit and maybe a loaf of bread and some cheese, and that's about the extent of it. A couple bottles of wine, and then some fresh water.
Well, we have all the food that the Dusk Elves gave us, so at least we have that. I'll build a fire in the fireplace.
Okay. The place definitely warms up a little bit once you get a fire going. The cottage itself seems to be built from stone and timber with a thatched roof. So yeah, like I said, it takes a little while, but the place starts warming up once you get a fire going. It is late afternoon, early evening at this point in time. So you guys have some time before nightfall, or you guys can just, you can just spend your time in the cottage.
Do we want to try and go up to the Abbey or no?
If you want to.
We could probably go up there before sunset.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just go and at least take a look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, once you get everything situated, the horse and the cart, I assume, you're going to head up on foot to the Abbey itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the Abbey itself is, as I said before, is situated up on a hill. You can see that there's two large buildings. You can see the road from the village climbs above the mist to a wide ledge on which you can see a very large abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The hard gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, and either side of which stretches a 5-foot high and 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stones that are held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked as you approach. Taking a view through the gates, you can see that the stone abbey appears to be silent and quiet. Its two wings are adjoined by a 15-foot high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the roof closer on the building closer to the north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing a thin trickle of gray smoke. You do not see...
No, I was just going to say, is there any sort of religious iconery or anything like that?
As you look around, you don't see anything visible from where you're standing at the gate entrance.
Okay.
Enter the gate?
Yeah, let's go in.
Onward.
Okay. 1 second. Let me see if we've got a map here. There is a map. All right. One second while I'm fiddling with the map here.
Fiddle away, fiddle away.
It looks like Fog of War by default is turned off. That's annoying. Just wanted to let you guys all know that in case you.
Yeah, and it's doubly annoying now because of the whole new fog of war versus old fog of war. And
All right, I think I got it set here. All right, at this point, I can show you the map, and I'll just fill it in as you guys are viewing. All right, so oh, you're going to need to scroll up or down, I think. There we go.
there we go. And we're over here.
Yeah, I gotta put your tokens on the map here. And where are you? Oh, there you are.
Why, that looks like a big void.
Got to make sure that Save It isn't with you anymore. Guys left him alone.
He's enjoying all the stick meat he can eat.
That's right. All right, so there's you guys. You can put your guys in the general area.
I'm gonna just walk right in.
And there's nothing at the gate stopping us.
Nope.
Are those headstones that we see towards the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, it looks like a little cemetery.
Yes, that would be. You can see that stunted pine trees grow out of the rocky earth in the graveyard near the foundation of the Abbey's north wing. The windows of the structure are cracked panes of leaded glass. Ancient gravestones burst from a thin crust of snow in the yard. Beyond the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground falls away. The village lies 400 feet below, and while the view is breathtaking, obviously it is a very macabre scene laying out before you. So you guys continue down this small dirt path. The one thing I don't like about revealing is I have to reveal in grids, which is annoying because sometimes I need like a triangle or other shapes besides squares, if you follow me.
Yep.
Do that. And we can do this.
You kind of, sort of, somewhat see a door.
Maybe, could be, possibly.
Or a jagged wall.
Oh, Mike.
About the best I can do. I can't do angles. Sorry, doesn't work.
Come on, Mel.
It's just the tiny little pieces of black disappearing.
That's all I can do. Well, you know, one part game, 2 parts entertainment.
It's all I can stands. I can't stands no more.
The door in the building doesn't look like it's abandoned, right? It looks like people possibly still live here.
Possibly. At this point, it looks like it's hard to say. You can see from where you're standing, where Julius is currently standing, you can see that you're definitely reached the entrance of the Abbey. You can see a 15-foot high curtain wall joins the Abbey's 2 wings. The second wing is further up the map to the north, I guess. Behind its battlements, you can see set into the wall is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque.
Oh, what does the plaque say?
What does the plaque say?
What does the box say?
It says the Abbey of St. Markovia.
Huh. Julius, are you familiar with a Saint Markovia?
Never heard of them. Knockety knock knock knock.
There is also an inscription, but beyond that, it says
don't knock on the door.
Underneath the name of the abbey, it says, "May her light cure all illness."
Okay. Sounds promising.
So
knock, knock, knock.
You knock on the door.
I do.
There is no answer.
No answer. I knock again.
Okay. There is still no answer.
I wait a few minutes, and if nobody comes, I will see if I can open the door.
Is there a bell? I look around. Is there a bell or any sort of I don't know, thing?
Try just opening the door. It's a church. Aren't doors always supposed to be open at the church?
Yeah, but what if they're hostile monks?
Like some shouting.
Church of Healing? I don't think so.
All right, fine. Open the door.
Julius, do you open the door?
I said I'm going to see if I can open the door.
All right. The door is unlocked, and while it takes a little bit of effort, you're able to open the door.
All right. I poke my head in.
A rather large cinder block fall. No.
Damn these cinder blocks. Hello? Anybody home?
Hang on one second. So there is no response to your call. Nobody says anything. Hang on, I'm trying to reveal more areas. Why do they have to make all these angles? Very annoying.
Because they don't anticipate the game being played on Roll20.
Yeah, it's probably
they anticipate it being played in person.
You can see that it appears to be a large courtyard. There is two buildings, one to the north, and then a second one to the south, which I will reveal. And then a whole bunch of this.
Well, I'm gonna pop in.
You just push right by me?
Yep.
All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks about right.
Maybe
Okay.
the monks here have something exciting.
Exciting.
Maybe the monks have a vow of silence.
You have entered the courtyard. A thick fog fills the courtyard and swirls around you as if eager to escape when you open the door. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall on which stand I
don't know which stand.
on which stand several guards with their backs to you, or at least that's what it seems at first. As you take a closer look, you can see that the people or things that are standing up on the walls are merely scarecrows. There are wooden doors to the north and east that look like they lead into the two separate wings of the Abbey. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch. There is a rope and a bucket are attached to the winch itself. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs for livestock. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron rings bolted to them, and the area is quiet, save for the sound of rustling on the wind.
Something doesn't feel right.
Oh, hell no.
All right. Tessacodal is going to happy-go-lucky down to this door and take a look.
Happy-go-lucky. I'm going to take a look up here.
So just for the record, you guys are splitting up.
Well, theoretically, no. We're only like we can see each other.
Okay.
And I can see Berry Pine.
Okay. All right, that's what you see over there. Let me do some of this business over here.
Dink, dink.
Yeah, right? I feel like Pac-Man.
Actually, kind of reminds me a little bit of Minecraft.
There you go.
Have zombies chase you.
All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, looks about right.
So, are these doors?
There's a lot of doors.
There's a lot of doors. These are doors, and they look like they lead to small buildings or small structures, small rooms. But yes, those are small wooden doors set into the walls. There's also some more down next to where Tessacodal is in this general area.
I'm looking at these posts. Does there appear to be any... Well, first of all, does it appear that these are for, like, shackling somebody to them?
They might be, Rabbit. They might.
Is there any evidence of blood or anything like that?
Yes. Let me make a roll that might or might not be related to this particular.
Wouldn't this be an investigation?
Yes. Why don't you make an investigation roll for me?
I'm going to investigate. Oh, wow. I should probably let you roll a perception. But anyway. Wow! Never mind. I got a 20.
Yes. There does appear to be blood around the post. And also what appears to be hair of some kind. Clumps of hair.
Animal or human?
It's very coarse. So you would think human.
I draw my sword.
Tezcatlipoca, somewhere in this general area, you hear what sounds like the sound of like muffled sobbing.
Like, oh wow. I'm gonna back up and head over to. Is this Bree Pine here?
That is Bree Pine.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna walk back over to Bree Pine and just let Bree Pine know that that is what I hear. It's like I hear sobbing coming from that area.
Male or female?
You couldn't determine that. You just heard what sounded like muffled sobbing.
All right. Yeah. So I couldn't tell.
Well, should we go see what's wrong?
Well, I look over at Julius. Does Julius look like he's kind of?
Julius has drawn his weapon.
Oh wow. Okay.
It looks like each of these areas that you're looking at, Julius, is what appears to be some kind of shed. It looks like it might have been at one point like a small animal pen. It looks like it might have held some kind of small creature, like maybe a pheasant or a chicken or something, some kind of bird like that.
You're talking about these 3 small doors?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
As you are looking at these doors, the one in the center, you notice all 3 of them have padlocks on them, old worn padlocks. The one in the center, it looks like something briefly pushes up against the door.
Like it kind of bulges out like something's trying to get out?
Well, the padlock kind of lifts a little bit, so it's almost like there's something pushing against the door briefly.
Right. Okay. 35 feet away. All right. I'm going to step on over here.
Okie dokie.
And I will tell... why am I drawing a blank? Quetzalcoatl.
Yes.
Tezcatlipoca, but very close. Close. We'll give it to you.
What's happening? Why you have your weapon out?
Those posts appear to be used for restraining people, and there's blood and hair. And there's something in the center. I point to the center door, and there's something inside there that is trying to get out.
And it also sounds like crying coming from this building over here.
Something is definitely not right here.
Let's check out that door that you said that you saw something move.
Yes. Let's.
All right, so come back over.
Okie doke.
Mike, does the door opens outward towards us?
Yes, the door does.
Which side are the hinges on?
The hinges, if it opens out towards you, the hinges would be exposed towards you on
Okay.
the left side of the door itself.
Okay. So it's
Okay,
going to
padlock.
open. It's going to open this way.
Yes.
It's going to swing out that way.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a
All
very
right.
it's a very small door. The door is probably about 3 feet tall, and maybe not even 5 feet wide. Probably a little bit less than that.
So it's wider than it is tall?
It's probably, I would say, more like 3 by 3. So it's probably as wide as it is tall.
Okay.
My kind of door.
So I am prepared to strike anything that comes out of there that looks hostile.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I am just prepared.
Don't forget about the padlock.
Yes, it is. That needs to be removed.
I'm expecting a goat to come out.
Well, I guess, can you bash the padlock off?
I can certainly try. Mike?
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure I know what's going on here, but I don't know that he knows what's going on here. So,
Reginald, are you still outside at the Abbey entrance, or have you?
I'm keeping an eye out in case there's people showing up.
Right.
Would this be a strength check?
Yeah, I think we decided for breaking stuff, you need to make a to hit roll, and then just roll damage.
Oh. Okay.
Attack AC 10.
Exactly.
Well, that's 22 to hit.
Oh, you definitely hit the padlock.
That would be 11 points of damage.
You bring your sword down, or are you kicking it, or what, punching it? What are you doing?
No, I'm using the pommel of my sword.
Okay. The lock is not a very sturdy one, so you bring your pommel down and it pretty much smashes the lock with a loud bang.
And then I step back into position to be prepared for anything hostile coming out.
Okay.
I'm still pretty sure it's going to be a goat.
It might be.
Could be a hostile goat.
They are grumpy.
Yeah.
Could be. I'm just telling you what I think it's going to be.
Goat meats is tasty.
I was going to say, we'll be eating well tonight.
Some curried goat.
A curry? Just more like grab a haunch and eat it. Tartar.
Yeah.
Tartar. So now
All
that
right.
the lock is off, does anything happen to the door?
Hold on 1 second. I am. The door slowly starts to swing open.
Okay.
You hear what sounds like the sound of muttering, like somebody mumbling or muttering under their breath.
Can I see into the doorway, into the room? Since
Yes,
I'm down
yes,
there.
you can. Yep. Do you have? I forget if do you have night vision or anything like that?
Dark vision, yeah. I have it.
Yeah, but you're not short and down where the.
True.
How do I have dark vision?
I don't think so, but
Dark vision, yes. I can see in darkness up to 60 feet.
okay. So you do see a figure inside here. It looks like a large humanoid creature It is seems to be whining like a dog, and it's you hear it say in a very husky voice, "Promises to be good. Promises to be good."
Well, that's nice. Come on out.
You hear the low growl. It sounds almost like a dog.
Come on. Come on.
So at this point, the door bursts open, and some creature kind of on its hands and legs scrambles out, and then jumps up and immediately starts to lunge at you like it's going to attack you.
You as in Brepine, or?
Yes, it looks like it's lunging at Brepine to attack her.
Bad dog.
Because I think Tez is kind of in the way, but
well,
so yeah.
I'm stating what its intention is, and then of course you guys can react to it. So if you guys are Tezzacotl, if you're going to do something prior to that, then obviously it's not going to get a chance to attack her.
Yeah, I mean, if I see it leaping at Brepine, I would probably try to
hackety hack.
No, I would actually probably just try to throw it, like use its momentum and just kind of toss it.
I already stated that if it looks hostile, I'm going to attack it.
Okay, so then I will move to the side if I see you with your sword.
Okay. So what you see in front of you is some kind of very odd, bizarre-looking creature. It is bipedal. It has 2 arms, 2 legs. It has what you would consider faintly humanistic features, but has like a dog's paw on one leg, and the other leg ends in what looks like a duck's foot. One hand looks like the hand of a monkey, while the other hand looks vaguely humanoid. And the creature howls and rushes you. And at this point, we need to roll for initiative.
Should I roll my attack first?
Yes, you. I'm going to say you have a readied action, so you can go ahead and.
Does a 15 hit?
Let me see. A 15, yes. A 15 would hit it.
10 points of damage.
Okay. So at this point, let me bring up the turn thingy. Reset it, because you're no longer fighting Reverence. All right. And then everybody can make a...
Woo!
All right, I got an 8.
That's nice.
That's nice. All right, that's everybody but... Who are you missing?
Reginald.
No, you
Come
got
on,
Reginald. Tezzacotl, you are not there.
Oh, I have an 8. I guess because I didn't click on myself.
No, you rolled before the torn order thing was up.
Oh, well, I'll just change it to 8.
That works.
Not that it really matters, but I don't know if that includes my initiative bonus. When I mouse over it, it says rolling D20 plus Julius line initiative _ bonus equals.
You tell me, man.
I haven't seen it like that before. I mean, it doesn't matter because I got the highest initiative at the moment. So
yes,
but I'm just saying I don't know. I'm gonna try something. I want to see. Yeah, I think that didn't include my +6 to initiative.
Okay.
But yeah, all right. So yeah, I'm way up there.
All right. So you attacked with your sword. So I guess then would move down to Tessacodal, right?
No, that was my readied action.
So then you would get another attack.
Yeah, I guess it's a round. 'Cause you said that was a sneak or surprise round. So
yeah, it was a readied action.
Yeah.
So
Then you'd roll normally now.
okay. Well, I hope this is actually a bad guy because that hits. And does a 12 hit?
Yes, both of those would hit. He's not wearing any armor.
So that is 13 points of damage and 12 points of damage.
Okay. So your sword flashes out twice and it strikes the creature. And the second one delivers a fatal blow. The creature lets out a very low howl and then falls silent.
what the hell is that thing?
That is an excellent question. Some sort of abomination.
It looks like it has undergone some kind of horrific transformation. As I said before, it just looks like now that you guys are able to see it, it looks like it has gone under some kind of transformation and is a mix of several beasts. It looks a little bit like a cat. It looks a little bit like a gorilla. You can see that it has the leg of a dog. You see that the other leg looks like the leg of a duck. It has the muzzle of a dog, it looks like, and has stringy, greasy hair like a human. And of course, lies dead at your feet now.
Poor thing. I don't know. This is kind of creepy, and I don't know if we should be here.
Yeah. I feel as though something wicked is happening here.
But you think the burgermaster knows about it, or no?
I don't know.
He is the master of the burgers.
Yes.
I like burgers.
You guys all hear what appears to be muffled sobbing coming from this general area over here.
Oh, there's that sound again, like someone crying.
Probably another one of these things.
Well, let's go over and check it out. And this time, Julius, if it doesn't attack us, let's see what it is.
You're telling Julius to set sword to stun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Set phaser to stun?
I will stand a little further back this time.
Now, is it a same sort of door?
It is. Yes, it looks it looks identical to the door that you just opened, and it has another feeble padlock on it as well.
Before I start having Julius bash locks, I'm gonna knock on the door.
There's a scratching at the door. You hear something kind of start cry, and then kind of goes into a whimper.
Can you speak?
It sounds it says ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. And then the voice trails off the fourth time.
Have we seen a bell?
There is a belfry, but you have not seen a bell.
Where's the bell for which building?
The belfry, that is a good question. Looking. It doesn't have it named easily on the map. Hang on one second. I'll look up.
All right.
Come on, Mike. You're supposed to know these things.
I know, right? When I ask for a belfry, you got to say yes, sir.
Didn't you read this adventure?
Yeah. There we go. What were you going to say, Greg?
Are you trying to help desk?
Yes. Hey. Something was said. No fair turning my words against me.
I said, ha ha.
Is it somewhere on the map that I can't see?
Oh, wow. That's a very big nose goblin? Orc?
Troll?
Ogre? Oh, it's a troll?
I think it's supposed to be a troll.
Ah, that's really nice. That you paint that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice detail on the weapon.
This doesn't pick up the details very well.
Oh, there is a second. Hang on. I'm looking at the next level.
I just got a basin now.
Oh. So you're still doing painting for hire?
Well, no, I'm just painting at this point.
Oh, okay.
Just practicing.
Getting his painting skills up, yo.
Yeah, I'm leveling up. Yeah, there's this guy.
Okay, so the Belfry, as you guys look around the area, and of course I'm trying to use the wrong map. I'm pointing on the stream. I'm like, why isn't this working in StreamYard? The Belfry looks like it's located over in this area. There's the tower, the Belfry Tower is roughly in that general direction. Did you guys all see me highlight the area? Okay, good.
Do we want to go and check that out or no?
I mean,
he said ring the bell. Maybe
yeah, this is not, whatever it is not going anywhere.
All right. So, well, we have two choices. We can go back to the cottage, wait till the morning, and although I wasn't there to speak to the burgomaster, so I wouldn't know that he was kind of a jerk.
More like jerky master.
I would say, since we have to be out in the morning, that we should get our maximum rest time in the hotel and then come back in the morning.
Is it starting to get dark? Well, I mean, it's Barovia, so we can't tell, but
yeah, right. It's starting to get dark all the time. I'm going to say by this time it is early evening. It's not quite dinner time, but getting close to it.
Is there anything going on the roads outside?
No, you've been standing here for several minutes and you have seen nothing come or go.
Okay.
Let me look to the north of where you are real quick to see what's up there. No, sir. You have not seen anything at all on the road.
No, sir. I don't like it.
So, what do you think, Julius and Breepine? Should we go ring the bell? Should we just get back? Well, I know Breepine said we should get back to the cottage and get some sleep. So I can go either way.
Well, my sense of justice tells me that we should find out what's going on here, because something seems off.
You've got an overdeveloped sense of vengeance. It's going to get you in trouble one of these days.
Yeah. So I'd like to at least try and find a person.
All right, maybe they can explain what's going on, or they can capture us and try to turn us into duck monkey wolves.
Yes.
Those are two clear options, absolutely.
So since the Belfry is over here, I will go back to this door again.
All right.
I will follow.
I will knock again, hoping that maybe they didn't hear me the first time.
Knock, knock, I says.
Hello? I said hello.
Candygram for Mongo.
Candygram for Mongo. Mongo like candy.
You hear something get knocked over. It almost sounds like a piece of furniture maybe might have gotten knocked over. And then you hear muffled laughter. You hear something go, and then the laughter quickly fades away.
We're all mad here. I try the door.
The door is unlocked.
I open the door.
Okay, you open the door. It reveals a small area, which opens up to a larger area.
Which opens up to a larger area?
Yes, it does. Do you see the larger area?
That's the larger area, huh?
Well, yes.
A larger area.
Yes. So at this point, I assume somebody's telling Reginald that you guys are entering the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be peeking around the corner when she comes.
All right. So as you step into this area, you can see what appears to be a chair lying on the ground. This room looks like it served as some sort of office, by the evidence by the remains of a desk and a chair. The desk looks like it has been smashed to pieces with an axe. A hallway to the south leads to a staircase going up, and there is a dark passage to the east that is full of unnatural whispers, soft laughter, and bestial odors.
Ew.
Yeah, something's definitely not right here. Was the Belfry right above where we are?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
I mean, those stairs, do I guess they lead to the Belfry?
In theory, they would.
Unless it's one of those underground belfries.
Well, you never know. It is Barovia.
Watch out for bats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely got to watch out for those bats.
There's always bats in the belfries.
That's right.
All right. So Julius is slowly venturing down the hallway. There are no light sources, and while it is gloomy and dark outside, there's dim lighting in here, but it's not the best lighting, but you guys can see through the windows. Looks like Breepine is standing in the doorway. Tezzacotl is booking a plane ticket to Miami, and Reginald's still outside. Okay.
He's hitchhiking.
Where are you going? Any place but here. All right. What do you guys do next?
I turn to Tez and I say, do you think we should ring the bell?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we came in here. This place is giving me the creeps. Let's just quickly get up, ring the bell, come back down, and see what happens.
I head up the stairs, Mike.
I follow, Mike.
Oh boy. And cinder blocks aplenty.
Cinder blocks for everybody.
And you get a cinder block, and you get a cinder block. Everybody gets a cinder block.
All right, I have to do some
Search
maps
map.
adjustment. Yeah. New map, which means I have to turn off this and fix that. And
Greg, are you coming too, or are you still staying outside?
I'm keeping watch.
Right.
at this point, he's going to be a toll booth operator.
Well, this way I got a good view of the courtyard, so I can see the greater demon being summoned when you ring the bell.
Yes.
There we go.
You'll be the first to know to run.
Mm-hmm.
Reginald must have nerves of steel, because I know if that was me having to wait for people, I'd like have so much anxiety.
It'd be a big old nope.
Mike, while you're futzing with the map, I'll be right back.
All right. Don't be long. I won't be too much longer.
Okay.
Nope. Land of 10,000 nopes.
So who's going upstairs to, is it just Tezzacotl and Julius, right? No, Brepine, you're coming too. All right. Okie dokie. We'll go check in on the Abbey, they said. It should only take a couple minutes, they said.
I'm surprised that Mystery Beast didn't recover a sanity roll.
Hey, Mike, it's 11 o'clock. Should we be starting combat now?
Of course. All right, so you are, let me bring this map up, which you guys aren't going to see a whole lot on, but I'll explain as we go. So there we go. Yep. So Brepine, you're not quite up the stairs. You're still down on the lower level. You can see, Julius. You can see that you're on your 5. Basically, you've got one more set of stairs that'll lead you another 5 feet up, and you can see that it does indeed terminate into what looks like the Belfry area. You will need to go up the last 5 feet of stairs in order to get a better look at what you're coming into.
Consider it done.
Okay. Let me reveal the room.
I'm trying to be cautious.
Let's unreveal the room.
So when you say cautious, explain.
I'm keeping my eye out for anything unusual or threatening or dangerous.
Somebody frozen in carbonite?
Somebody frozen in carbonite.
Wow, it does look like Han Solo. That's crazy.
Sure does.
All right. The wooden stairs climb the final 5 feet into a loft with a pitched roof and a door in the center of the south wall. Unlit lanterns hang from rafters, and a large rope dangles from a bronze bell lodged in the belfry 30 feet overhead. The room is filled with the sound of beautiful music, a melody so enchanting that it adds a bit of much-needed warmth to an otherwise freezing room. A black shroud covers a humanoid shape lying on a wooden table. Han Solo does not stir. The music does nothing to stir the figure. There is a cot heaped with furs that rests in the northeast corner, surrounded by dozens of empty wine bottles. A small oil lamp burns feebly on a top of a table nearby, silhouetting a squat creature that is sitting on the edge of the cot, with a small violin between his arms. With a crustacean claw-like appendage, you see that it grasps the neck of the instrument while running a bow gently across the strings with a human hand. This creature does not seem to notice your entrance.
The creature's head is human? Crustacean? What's the head look like?
The head. Hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try and pull up a picture of said creature.
Woo! I like pictures.
How do I share an image again? What do I need to do? Control Z, is that right?
Yeah. Or Shift. Yeah, Control Z, I think.
All right, let's try Control Z. No.
Well, that's Control Z is if you click on a token, it'll make the token big so everyone can see what it is.
Oh, okay. So, but if I want to share a picture, how do I do that
Well,
again?
depending on the picture, like sometimes there's a little thing on the top that says share to players or show to players.
Or you might be able to put it in the chat.
All right. Let me see if I can do this. If not, I'm just going to have to use my words. Nope, doesn't work. All right, so I'll use my words. This creature has two heads. You can see that it has a human head, and then it looks like it has a tiny vestigial baby's head, for the lack of a better word, resting immediately next to it on its shoulder.
Wow.
You can see that it has a hunch or a large humpback, if you will. You can see that, as I said before, one arm ends in a crab, the other arm ends in what would appear to be a human.
So what is this, the Abbey of Dr. Moreau?
Awesome. That's exactly.
Back away slowly and nope yourself out of there.
Nope.
So it's got a human head. I call out gently to it. Male or female?
It looks like a male, question mark?
Excuse me, sir and or madam?
You see this creature stop playing, and he quickly stands up and looks surprised. He is about almost 4 feet tall. He has his chest is very barrel-like, very barrel-chested. You can see that his right hand looks like a fully formed humanoid hand. He has patchy hair all over his body. The larger of the two heads has 2 goat horns coming out of it, and you can see that the cherub face of the vestigial head seems to be covered with like almost a hide, like scales. You can see on his left hand, of course, is the crab's pincher, and there is a bear's paw where his right foot should be. He wears an ill-fitting monk's robe and a simple belt made of hempen rope. He says in the larger head says to you, very slowly, my apologies. I did not hear you enter.
Forgive my ignorance. What are you?
My name is Cloven, and he gives a low bow. And as he does, he stumbles a little bit. And he says, I am the caretaker of this abbey.
Are all of the people here like you?
He smiles and he says, yes, everyone is like me.
And how did you get this way?
He picks up a wine bottle and it sloshes a little bit in his hands, and he tilts the bottle back and takes a long drink from the wine bottle. And he looks at you very matter-of-factly and says, I was born this way. How did you end up looking like that?
I put on armor.
And he says, well, my armored friend, and he starts slowly swaggering over to the belfry, to the rope. He says, what can I do for you on this fine evening?
Well, my friends and I came here to see if perhaps we could purchase some holy water. However, what we have found so far has been, shall we say, disturbing to us.
He gives a very solemn nod to you. He says, yes, indeed, most disturbing. The Abbey is home to the flotsam and the jetsam of humanity, the people that Dmitry does not wish to see, the ones that have been afflicted with a curse of madness, and so they stay here under our care.
So is this like a prison?
He kind of shrugs. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. He says, forgive me for my manners. Care for some wine, and he holds the bottle up towards you.
I'm good, thank you. I'm going to enter the room a little bit more.
I will follow up.
Okie dokie.
Oh,
Prepine, you're moonwalking up the stairs. There you go.
And I say to him, you seem to have individuals locked away in the courtyard?
He nods. We are horribly overcrowded. We simply do not have enough room for everyone, so unfortunately, there are some that are locked away for their own safety. Let me see if I'm going to blow him up temporarily just so you guys get a good look at his freakiness.
Yeah. He's freaky.
There you go.
I'm going to
throw up.
The vestigial head that he has on his shoulder gives out a very small yawn and then continues to sleep.
All right, that's creepy.
Awesome.
It's a regular freak show here. I'm going to say to him, I noticed a couple of posts in the courtyard that appear to be meant for chaining people up. Can you explain that? And I want to do like an insight roll or something for his answer.
Okay.
I want to see if he's telling the truth when he says whatever he says.
Right. Let me make a roll here. Shuffle some dice. Consult some charts. He kind of looks at his feet and then looks back up at you, and he says very meekly, Those posts are for beasts of burden and the like, so that they do not run away from the compound.
Insight. 14.
You don't think he's being entirely truthful with you. You think that they could be used for that purpose, but you don't think that's the true purpose behind them. Or at least
to him,
he doesn't seem like he's given you the whole story behind those.
I say to him, I noticed some blood and hair on the posts, and it does not appear to be the hair of a beast of burden. Can you explain that?
He kind of sheepishly looks at his feet again, and he says in a very soft voice, some of our tenants need to be disciplined, and we are left to correct them.
Woo, 25 on my insight.
He's being truthful. He doesn't seem like he's particularly pleased about what he's saying, but he's being truthful. I don't know if pleased is the right word. Maybe comfortable. He doesn't seem very comfortable with what he's saying, but you think he's telling the truth.
And what would happen if we were to ring this bell here?
He says, well, and he kind of gives you a smile. He says, then that would mean it would be time to feed the tenants.
I see. Other than yourself, how many caretakers are there here?
Just a few others. Myself, Marzina, and Mishka. He seems very shifty, but it's hard to tell if it's because he's a little drunk or if he's uncomfortable about this conversation.
I'd like to cast, hang on. Yeah, I'd like to cast Detect Good and Evil.
You are casting Detect Good and Evil on him?
Yep.
So that's an actual spell. That's not an innate ability then?
Correct. And it says, for the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay. So for the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. Okay. So once you cast this spell, the creature that stands before you does not fall under any of those categories. It is not an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
And does this area seem to be consecrated or desecrated?
It does not.
Okay.
Does not seem to be either.
Okay. I turn to to Tez, and I say, I feel as though we're wasting our time here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for these individuals, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing for us to do here.
I turn back to whatever the hell his name was, because I can't remember now. And I say...
Clovis. He called himself Clovis.
Clovis.
Yes, Clovis.
I say to him, Clovis, I appreciate your honesty, and I will pray for you and yours. But I think we are going to bid you farewell at this point.
He gives you a smile, and he says, well, you are more than welcome to stay as long as you wish. But of course, I understand if you have other matters to tend to. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must feed the tenants. And he gives the bell a pull on the bell, and the huge bronze bell begins ringing overhead. Dong, dong.
So it's a meal bell.
Yes, it is an actual real bell.
No, meal.
Yes, it is a bell for dinner time. Yes. When he rings the bell, you guys hear this tremendous clamor from down below. It's just this total cacophony of animal noises. It sounds like just about every conceivable animal that you can think of, all making some kind of noise all at the top of their lungs. It is just absolute pandemonium. And it seems to erupt from everywhere in the building at once. And Clovis looks at you and kind of rolls his head back a little bit drunkenly and starts laughing.
I look at him and I say, does this mean that we are dinner?
He stops laughing and looks you dead in the eye, and he says, only if you wish to be.
No thanks.
Yeah,
Nope,
we'll be taking our
I'm
leave
good.
now.
See you later.
What's going on downstairs?
So Reginald, you're outside. You don't know. You haven't had privy to any of this. All of a sudden, you hear the bell ring, and the entire building just erupts in this bizarre pandemonium of noise. Just animal noises everywhere. Dogs, cats, ducks, cows, wolves, just like any animal that can vocalize just seems to erupt at once. And it all sounds like they're slowly being murdered to death. So.
Okay.
Cats and dogs living together.
So the three of you inside, I assume you make your way out of the Belfry at this point, or are you sticking around to chat up close?
See ya.
No.
All right.
Bye-bye. I'm out.
All right, you guys make your way back downstairs and then back out to the courtyard. You see, of course, Reginald's still standing there. He looks, what is the word? Uneasy?
The hell, you guys?
Time to go.
Perplexed. Yep. You can see up in the Belfry, you can see that Clovis is standing at the window and he's waving a bottle of wine at you as you guys are leaving the building. And unless you guys stick around any longer, I assume you quickly start making your way down the path.
Oh, yeah.
Time to go.
All right. Done and done. And the animal noises and the bells quickly recedes. We turn our back on this little sordid chapter.
When we get back to the cottage,
you say let us not speak again of the Abbey.
I'm going to say a prayer for the one that I killed.
Okay.
And basically ask Helm for forgiveness for slaying an innocent, presumably.
Yes, presumably. Okay. So the rest of you, of course, make your way back. The fire is still burning in the fireplace, although it's probably burned down to embers by now, but you guys can restoke it easily enough. It is now dinner time. You can see that the village is starting to go through the motions of what a typical farming community does. Everyone is putting away the livestock and all of the farming equipment, and everyone is heading inside for their dinner. And it being a small village of farmers, most of these people will probably be in bed shortly after dinner. They're usually up at first light back in the fields again. So what do you all do? What other exciting places would you like to visit?
I don't know about anybody else, but I think I'm good.
Yeah, no, same here. I'm just gonna have some food and put my bedroll near the fireplace after I get the fire going again.
Okay.
And just kind of forget what I saw.
Okay. Reginald puts in the comments Arkham Asylum. Yes, that is the D&D equivalent of Arkham Asylum for sure.
If only Dagon told us that we were in Dunwich.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Unless you guys are doing anything else in the evening, I'm going to assume that time passes. You guys all once again get a long rest. You guys have all your hit points and all your spells. You already did. I don't think anyone used anything. Matt, of course, you used one spell, so obviously you'll get that back. And that's it. 8 hours later, you guys are full rested, and once again, you have unsettling dreams, but you all get the benefit of a full night's rest. No more crazy witches visiting you in your sleep.
Yay! I don't like witches.
No, sir. Or night hags, for that matter.
Yeah.
All right.
Witches be crazy.
Witches do indeed be crazy. So once you guys have woken up again, you have eaten, you've fetched your horse and cart. Everything is as it was. Nothing's changed since you guys went to bed. What do you do next?
I think we might as well just head out to the swamp.
Yeah.
To the swamp.
So if we're swamping it, we probably should leave the wagon and horse here. Wagons are not good in a swamp.
The nearby area, from what you've seen, is extremely hilly terrain. And if you are going into a swamp, then that would make it pretty much near impossible for you to try and navigate a horse in a cart.
Artax, no!
Yes, indeed. All right, so let me pull you guys back to the map again, and I'll just give you a lowdown of what you can expect. There it is.
That is still not the map we're looking for.
Damn it. Is that Valaki again? Son of a bitch.
I think he's feeling left out because we haven't been there in a couple of days.
Everything leads back to Valaki, I guess. All right, there you go.
Valaki misses us.
All right, so what you guys are looking at here is, of course, you guys are in Krezek right now, which is here. There is two very large mountains. One of them here, that's one of the mountains. That's the other mountain. The area, the swamp, or it's probably would be more like a bog, would probably be a better word for it, is the area that would be roughly about here. This is the bog in question.
You know what probably would have been easier is we should have just gotten a rowboat and rowed over there.
Yeah, I was just actually thinking of the same thing.
Go along the coast.
So you have a couple ways of doing this. You guys can skirt along the mountain and the forest edge there until you get to the swamp. You can come up and over the mountain and then down through the valley into the swamp. Yeah, I mean,
I think we might as well just go along the little tree line, like going across. Nyo, 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 nyo.
Hug the forest.
On the edge of the forest. I'm just sort of skirt it.
Yeah, just probably the best bet. So we have the tree lines to dodge into if something happens, or...
Would they be willing to watch the horse?
Watch the horse and cart while you're gone.
Yeah, can we start here?
Yeah, Eloise says that's not a problem. We can tend to your animal and your cart while you're gone. She says, "Forgive me for asking, but do you intend on venturing into the woods?"
No.
Not exactly.
Not if we can help it.
Why? What's wrong with the woods?
She says there is a long-holding legend that the woods are filled with werewolves and lichen. Many people have ventured into the woods, and those who have gone deep into the woods have never come back. The woodcutters from Krezek only go into the woods during the day, and they only take the wood they absolutely need before retreating back to the village. She said, "If you do not return, should I inform the Lord that the horse and cart would be his to do with what he wishes?"
I would say that's fair.
Yeah.
She nods. She says it very matter-of-factly. Just, if you guys don't return.
Sounded reasonable to me.
Yep.
Okay, so each one of these hexes represents a quarter of a mile. So you're looking at about 3 miles on foot, but it's through some pretty rugged terrain. So 3 miles through difficult terrain. I'd have to look at the book. I think that takes a couple hours, but I'd have to come up with a number. I mean, obviously you guys will be there before nightfall, but yes, it'll take you a couple hours to make your way through the forest if that's the plan.
Around the forest.
Yeah, around the forest.
Around the forest. So then you're following basically the edge of the forest around to the...
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. First edge. Okay. Excellent. So the horse and the wagon stay behind. You all start off shortly after you finish your breakfast, I assume.
Mhm.
The weather is, surprise, surprise, gloomy and overcast. It's not raining, but of course, heavy cloud cover. All right, let me make a roll that is completely unrelated to what's happening currently. I see.
Debbie.
Listen to your mother, Debbie. So are you guys walking single file to hide your numbers? Are you walking 2 by 2?
If a single file, I guess, would be good.
That would make sense.
Okay. If you were walking single file, who would be the first person? Just curious.
Not me. Julius.
Probably either me or Julius, because I might be scouting. I'm a ranger.
Yeah, I was going to say normally it would be me. However, you would probably be the better option at this point because you're a woodsy kind of guy.
Yep.
He is a woodsy kind of guy.
I am not.
At least that's what it says on his Facebook profile.
Yes.
Clang.
All right, so then who is immediately following behind him?
Hi.
All right. Okay. And then who is following behind Julius?
Me.
I see. So Reginald, you're in the back?
I guess so.
Very good.
You're bringing it up the rear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the backdoor man.
Yes. All right. So then, as you guys are making your way through the woods is eerily silent. There is no normal sounds that you would expect from a wood, like sounds of animals or birds or anything like that. It just seems unnaturally quiet.
Even I noticed that.
Let's see. So while you are walking along in the woods, Tezcatlipoca, I need to make a roll for you.
Remember, Mike, I cannot be surprised.
Right.
You do have a point there.
She does. Okay, so while you guys are walking through the woods, you are nearly at the bog itself. You can see that it's not a true swamp in the truest sense of the word. As I said, it's more of a bog. There's piles of peat. There's no real large bodies of water. Since this is in a more of a cool climate, you can see that the water is very cold. There isn't really much as far as like algae or anything like that on the water. There are some very sickly looking trees, but there's no vegetation on them. Just some moss and lichen hanging from the branches themselves. Besides that, as I said, it's very cold. The water itself, in some places, has a very thin layer of ice on it. You can see that this touches briefly up against Lake Baratok, and obviously is between the two forests, and then the slope of the mountainside pretty much keeps the bog contained to this small area. This area is probably the bog is probably about a mile, roughly, about a mile long and about a mile wide. And as you guys get to about early afternoon, you can see you are now just standing at the edge of the bog.
So we think this thing is magic?
That's actually a good question.
But do you need a way to find it?
Well, I mean, there's one way to find out. Ickety-ackety oop. Detect magic.
So you are casting detect magic. The range on detect detect magic is what?
30 feet all around me.
Okay.
And it lasts for 10 minutes.
Right. Is that a concentration spell or a ritual, or how does that work?
It is a concentration spell.
Right. Okay, so you concentrate and focus on the area. You, besides any magic, of course, that any of you are personally carrying, you don't sense any other magic in the immediate area.
Of course. But this lasts for 10 minutes, so I'm going to keep it up while we're moving.
So it's very difficult in the bog to find any. I mean, there are some very small, narrow dirt paths that kind of snake their way through. They look like they're paths for animals, maybe like a deer trail or something along those lines. But there are some sections that don't have any trail at all, that literally you guys are just kind of slogging your way through knee-high water, or unfortunately for the halfling and the gnome, it's more like hip-high water. And the water, of course, is ice cold. You try and navigate your way around it, but unfortunately there are some situations as you get deeper into the bog that you have to slog through the water in order to continue on your way. All Are you traveling in any given direction? Are you going in a random direction? Once you enter the bog, which way do you go?
We don't.
Well, I don't want to get bogged down with the details here. So.
Oh.
There's no structures or.
Once you enter the bog, the heavy mist makes it very difficult to see anything beyond about 30 to 60 feet in front of you. The terrain is very similar. All you see is just sickly trees with lichen and moss on them, and then of course just this mounds of peat and moss and dirt. So it's very difficult to actually even get an idea of what direction you're going in once you enter the bog.
So, first off, I think we should start by going along the edge of the lake. Basically, go along the edge of the bog, kind of like circle around the entire thing.
Okay.
And then we can work our way inward.
I was searching for a missing person. Canvass the area.
That works.
That would involve us spreading out and trying to, canvassing the area is more like creating a search line and then walking together and keeping each person within eyesight. But yes, we're going to use a spiral search pattern. How about that?
A spiral search pattern. Okay, so if I understand it right, you guys are not going into the bog. You're going to first circle around the bog. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
It's like a cinnamon roll.
Yes. Inside the bog, but at the edge.
Sort of like we're looking for a raisin inside the cinnamon roll and unravel it.
Okay. All right, let me make a perception roll. So within the 10 minutes that you have your spell up, Matt, you don't detect any magic that you obviously don't already know or familiar with. Whatever you guys are carrying on you, of course.
Okay. I can cast it again.
Okay. Let me know when you decide to cast it again. Is that that's not obviously a cantrip, that's a spell, right?
Correct.
And you can ritualize it.
Can you?
Sure.
I don't think paladins can. I feel
I can. I've got it.
Yeah, you can.
I can do it as a ritual.
So maybe you should be doing it.
So we just have to stop every 10 minutes for 10 minutes. Unless we want to do 2 teams to cover more ground.
I probably wouldn't want to split up in the bog.
I was going to say, I don't think splitting up is a good idea.
Aww.
So I will ritualize and turn on my detect magic.
Okay. And basically the same as Matt.
Yep. It's exactly the same.
Okay, so anything within
30 feet.
30 feet?
Yep.
Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything in the area outside of what you guys are carrying on you.
Well, so I guess we're just going to keep doing the spiral inward.
Okay.
And of course, we will be searching normally while we do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're not dependent on the magic, of course. Okay. So while you guys are searching, there is in a large pool of water. The pool, as you guys begin approaching it from the right, the pool starts to suddenly furiously bubble, and mounds of swamp, mounds of stuff start shooting out of the water suddenly. You can see creatures emerging from the swamp water, and as they emerge out, they lunge forward to attack you.
Hooray!
You found
Mike.
something.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mike, it's 10 minutes to 12. You think it's a good idea to start combat?
No, at this point in time, this is probably a good stopping point.
Good
Probably.
cliffhanger.
Yeah, probably at this point we'll end with saying there are humanoid figures suddenly lunging out of the swamp water, rushing towards you. And take it away, James.
All right. Well, again, it's thank you for watching. As usual, you can check us out here every couple of weeks to continue on. Next 2 weeks, it'll be Chapter 17. I'll probably title this one, I don't know, Pummeled in the Bog or something. Anyway, everyone, have a good night, and we're out of here.